Hello everyone, I am your tutor from Star Academy Online in collaboration with Anemone Review channel. Today's topic is analytical reasoning tips and tricks. Yes, today we are going to deal with analytical type of questions. Let's start with the first one. An office manager must assign offices to 6 staff members. The available offices numbered 1 to 6 consecutively are arranged in a row and are separated only by 6-foot high dividers. Therefore, voices, sounds and cigarette smoke readily pass from each office to those on the either side. Now, here are some conditions. Keep in mind that every analytical question will come with some conditions. And you have to make sure that you understand the conditions properly because the MCQs will be based on these conditions. Let's read them out. Miss Lama's work requires her to speak on the telephone frequently throughout the day. Mr. White and Mr. Black often talk to one another in their work and prefer to have adjacent offices. Miss Green, the senior employee, is entitled to Office 5, which has the largest window. Mr. Parker needs silence in the office adjacent to his own. Mr. Allen, Mr. White, and Mr. Parker all smoke. Miss Green is allergic to tobacco smoke and must have non-smokers in the office adjacent to her own. Now, once when you're done with the conditions, I always follow a formula that I make a table and I arrange all the conditions in it. This helps me to solve out the MCQs which will be given along with it. So as I said, I've made a table over here and I've numbered it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why? Because there are 6 offices. Now let's start incorporating the conditions into this table. First of all, find out a condition which gives you a specific or a very clear idea. See the condition. Miss Green, the senior employee, is entitled to Office 5. Now this clearly shows you that you have to place Miss Green in Office 5, so just place her over there. Now read the next one. Mr. Parker needs silence in the office adjacent to his own. Mr. Allen, Mr. White and Mr. Parker all smoke. Now this shows that we have to make sure that we are placing Mr. Parker in a corner room. Also, keeping in mind that Miss Green is allergic to tobacco smoke and Mr. Parker smokes, we have to make sure that there is a difference or there is a distance between Mr. Parker and Miss Green. Keeping this in mind, we are placing Mr. Parker in room 1. Now, we'll keep all the smokers on one side. So, along with Mr. Parker, we will place Mr. Allen and Mr. White. Now, a question can arise in your mind that why aren't we placing Mr. White in place of Mr. Allen? Well, if you see the second condition, it states that Mr. White and Mr. Black often talk to one another, which shows that we have to make sure wherever we place Mr. White, we have to place Mr. Black next to him. So that's why we are placing Mr. White in Office 3. Henceforth, we are placing Mr. Black in Office 4. Now we're just left with Office 6 and the only employee left out here is Miss Lama. So let's just place her in Office 6. And we're done with placing all the employees in their offices. Now keep this table in front of you when you're solving the MCQs and this is going to help you out. Proceeding to the questions now. Number 1. The best location for Mr. White is in office A1, B2, C3, D4. Now as you can see that Mr. White is in office number 3, so the answer over here is C. Number 2. The best employer to occupy the furthest from Mr. Black would be. Now you can see that according to the table, Mr. Black is in office 4 and the person who is far away from Mr. Black is, of course, in office number 1, Mr. Parker. So the correct answer would be D, Mr. Parker. Question number 3. The 3 employees who smoke should be placed in offices. Now, if you remember, the 3 employees who smoke are Mr. Parker, Mr. Allen, Mr. White, and they are in offices 1, 2, 3. So according to that, option A is the correct one. Now, which 2 employees occupy the corner offices? You can just see the table and then you know that you know the answer. It's Mr. Parker and Mr. Lama. The answer is D. Please like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel, the Anemone Review channel. Also follow us on Facebook on Star Academy Online. Suggest us some new topics that you want to learn. Thank you.